Well, now to the bustling top-end city of Darwin, a city once devastated by World War II bombings and a cyclone.
Bicycles are a perfect way to explore this city because, after all, the weather here is tropical, warm all year round, which encourages a relaxed outdoor lifestyle. Just before I take a cycling tour of Darwin's major sites, I spot a man for whom pedalling around Australia is a passion. Meet Peter Boyle.
So, Peter, this is home?
Yeah. It's been home for about 10 years now.
You've been riding for 10 years?
Oh, about 8 out of that 10 years.
Where do you set out from?
Tasmania.
How many Ks do you reckon you do every day?
Well, it fluctuates on the conditions, you know, somewhere between 40 and 80, and then if the circumstances dictate, you might do 120, but I don't like doing that sort of Ks. I think we've done about 60 or 70,000 Ks or something on these bikes. So you get to see, like we've ridden across the Nullarbor, you know, and people think that's boring, you know, but it isn't very boring on a bike. I just started doing it and liked it and kept doing it. And I'm not interested in making money. I used to be pretty good at it, but I don't see much point in it. So this seems to suit me better.
We leave Peter Boyle to continue his cycling adventures. Right now, we're teaming up with Stephen Noble, who runs cycling tours of Darwin.
Hey, Stephen, really nice to meet you.
G'day, Greg.
You're providing the bikes. We're about to see Darwin. What are you going to show us?
Well, bikes are a great way to get around Darwin. It's really compact.
It's flat.
It is flat. It takes you to all the locations that you want to see. The heritage precinct with all the buildings, the beaches, the parks. So much to see and really easy to get around.
OK, we're at East Point. We're about to travel west. What are we going to see?
Well, we're going to head back in towards the city, through the parks and gardens, past all the beaches, and see the Botanic Gardens and then all the heritage buildings.
Remind us of Cyclone Tracy, for instance, the bombing of Darwin.
Of course, all the major things that people want to see. There's so many great spots that highlight our history, also Indigenous culture as well. All those things that people come to the top end, get a great experience about the Outback, the history of Darwin and the trials and tribulations of settling the Outback.
These days, central Darwin has become a living museum. Major wars and cyclones have left their mark, as we're about to see. There's the Christchurch Cathedral, damaged by Japanese bombing during the Second World War and destroyed by Cyclone Tracy.
And here, reminders of both the cyclone and the bombing.
Yeah, the original church was built here in 1902, and then in 1944 they added this doorway entrance area using the stone from the post office, which had been destroyed during the Darwin bombings. It was dedicated as a memorial to all the people that died here during the Second World War.
This is a city that should have been wiped out. It's flourished.
It certainly has over time. It's been destroyed several times and grown several times.
And inside, reminders of sailors who've lost their lives.
It's a great memorial, this church, the Second World War and also Cyclone Tracy, the sailors that lost their lives, and there's a stained glass that represents the waves that took their lives away.
Over the road, the ruins of the old town hall. Built 125 years ago, Cyclone Tracy all but reduced it to rubble. These days, it's used as an open-air theatre. Close by is Government House.
Government House, a beautiful Government House too, eh? Overlooking the bay here.
They've got a great view here at Government House. This is the house of our administrator, first built in 1890.
Built of timber originally, survived all those cyclones and bombings.
Of course, and also the termites, but that was their downfall, so they've since had to replace it with stone, and now made out of local quarried sandstone.
And the administrator, an interesting role, because this is not a state, it is a territory.
Correct. Our administrator is the Queen's representative. Just like in a state, they have a governor. The major differences between states and territories is that the federal government can overrule our laws, but they can't overrule a state law. We all administer ourselves separately and independently, but the federal government can interfere when they want in the Northern Territory.
And you can do what you want living here.
Well, the territory is very liberal, there's no doubt about that.
Just along from Government House is the War Memorial, dedicated to those who enlisted in the Great War from the Northern Territory.
Well, Steve, what we would have had happening here were waves of Japanese bombers coming in to bomb Darwin.
Yeah, the first bombing raid here over Darwin was on February 19th, 1942, and 188 aircraft attacked on that first day.
So lookouts would have been standing here, would have seen it all happen. The fleets of Japanese warplanes coming right overhead.
Yeah, this was home to an anti-aircraft artillery regiment. So looking back over the harbour here, they would have seen the aircraft fly across the harbour directly at them here. Initially, they thought they were actually allies. They sort of, woohoo, the cavalry's arrived. It wasn't until they started dropping bombs on the Navy just below here, they realised they were under attack. On the first day, 90% of the Air Force was destroyed, about 50% of the Navy, around 60% of the township. Estimates vary, but at least 280 people were killed and over 400 wounded, which is about a third of the population.
Would have been a big worry to all Australians. Australia's being attacked.
It would have been if they knew about it, but the government kept it pretty hush-hush at the time.
Because Darwin is built on a peninsula, residents are never far from the water. This wharf is a favourite place to socialise, and also the scene of Darwin's filming for the movie Australia.
This will be Stokes Hill Wharf, the main wharf.
Yeah, this is Stokes Hill Wharf, which is a favourite place for visitors to come, have fish and chips, but it's also the location where they filmed the movie Australia.
Nicole Kidman was on this very ground.
She was right here. Her and Hugh Jackman were down here.
And yours truly.
I played the role of a Qantas baggage handler. Nicole Kidman touched his hand here.
Wow.
Overstepped the mark and touched his foot, so suffice to say I haven't had a shower since.
How was she?
Oh yeah, she's great fun. She was easygoing, very easy to get along with, quite talkative, so yeah, it was good. It was a really good experience.
Our Darwin experience ends with some brilliant displays of its tropical weather. Darwin and the surrounding region are deemed one of the most lightning-prone areas in the world. And in the dry season, there are magnificent sunsets, displays that are often magnified and coloured a rusty red by the dry season haze. Next time we travel Oz, Australia's territory in the Antarctic, magnificent ice formations, amazing wildlife, and Mawson's Hut, Australia's pioneering role in the Antarctic, showcased in a building that has survived for a century in the home of the blizzard. Set sail with us next episode from Hobart for a series of adventures in Australia's awesome Antarctic territory. Also, next episode, the alternative cultures of northern New South Wales. The two Tims take us travelling back in time. And the wetlands of Kakadu, a haven for birds. And managing rogue crocs, the ranger program aimed at subduing giant killers.
I do hope you'll join us next episode for our grand Antarctic expeditions. From Hobart, I'm Grainger. Happy travels.
We are people living free on the Cocos Islands, surrounded by the sea. The Indian Ocean lights our shore. Gentle breezes blow through our doors. Everyone, we are proud to live.